Shalom, beloveds. Hey, I am, yes, under a curtain here, trying to avoid you all seeing um, my slightly messy little house. Kevin? I just said you all. Oh my goodness, I tell you what, I grew up um, in a state. I don't know if I ever even told people on here before where I grew up, but where I live now is not where I grew up, and I love this place now where I'm at. Oklahoma, you guys know that. I'm in Oklahoma, and I've come to really love it. But I didn't grow up here. Where I grew up, you don't say you all, you say you guys. So that could be interesting for those of you, actually. Could make that kind of a, for those of you who don't know where I grew up, that might be kind of fun for you to identify where I live off of that, or where I grew up off of that phrase, you guys. But here, people say, they don't say, come on, you guys, they say, come on, you all, or y'all. Not as much as another state, though. They don't say, here, you don't say you all as much as in some other states, so. Like Texas, I think. In Texas, it's more like y'all, or y'all, it's kind of put together. Here, it's more like you all, mostly. But yeah, where I grew up, it's you guys. And I still say that sometimes, but I'm surrounded by people who say you all, so it's kind of become the thing. And it does make more sense to say you all, I think, because you guys, it's like generalizing, it's for everybody, even if it's ladies. Just say, hey, you guys, and it's two ladies standing there or something, you know? So I did not know I was going to spend the first 2 minutes talking about that in this video. It's actually, I don't usually do this. I don't usually post on Shabbat. I usually wait till after or right before Shabbat. But I consider this to be also a way of ministering to you on Shabbat. So there's that. But I will have an opportunity to use the internet hopefully later after Shabbat service. I'm about ready to go to Shabbat service and excited about that. I gotta get my head covering. I think so. Well, those of you who have been subscribers for a while, you might remember me wearing it more often. I actually went through a time when I was always wearing a head covering. It wasn't that long, but for a time. And then it went to wearing a head covering for prayers, for praying, and going to Shabbat service. So now, mostly, yeah, if I'm gonna go to Shabbat service, I'm gonna pray. But the thing is that, like, it does talk about in the Bible. Sorry, I'm distracted looking at these crows outside. Those are big birds, but in the Bible it does talk about head coverings, and there are different doctrines that have come up from that, different ideologies, and I'd be more than happy to share my own perspective on that sometime if anybody's interested. Yeah, which nobody has even asked me my perspective about masks. That's like the thing to talk about. maybe that's a good thing. It's become such a political ordeal. Yeah, but I don't have a problem sharing it. It's interesting. I don't talk about politics really on this channel, and it's so funny to me that that is the case because my family where I grew up in, like, that is the thing. That is what you talk about. You talk about politics. We are very big into politics. It's very much part of my life, my thoughts, and yet when I talk on here, or with most of the people I talk to, I don't even talk about politics. So it's kind of funny because that's a huge part of who I am and who my family is. So what my family's like. But anyways, yeah, there's a lot of different stuff about it. Things that are actually unhealthy. And even there was a time where they were just like anything, any kind of cloth you can put over your nose, and yet only certain masks actually are effective. And my concern is people are wearing masks out even in the hot sun. The health risk involved there, the risk being greater actually than trying to protect yourself from the virus, because we do have heat, really bad heat, depending on where you live. I know here we've had some intense heat. Today is supposed to reach 102 degrees. They have a excessive heat warning out. Sadly, I actually lost one of my chickens to being overheated. And I do a pretty good job of making sure I've got shade and everything they need, but it was just too hot for this chicken. So yeah, you guys be safe out there in the hot weather. But one of the things that they don't talk about, so I'm not against, if somebody wants to wear a mask, that's entirely up to you. I'm not condemning people for that, but I know for me, from my own research and my own thoughts about it, really the best defense you have is to build your immunity and to just have good hygiene from the virus. There's people who say the virus doesn't exist at all. I don't agree with that either. It does exist. It is here, but yeah, some people are so worried about it. There's a lot of different ways you can go. Just the other day, I had a very scary experience where I'm driving down the road. It's a 2-lane road, country road, and I'm coming over this hill. You can't see the other side, one of those kind of roads. And there was a car literally right in front of me, so we were going to have a head-on collision. My mother told me you never swerve. You never swerve your car, because that can cause more accidents. But in this moment, there was literally nothing else I could try for my own safety other than to swerve my car as fast as I could. And yes, a major accident did not take place, I should say. Did not happen as a result of my swerving. Thankfully, my car didn't slide so bad, because it certainly could have. I was able to go back on. But it made me realize, I talked about this before, there's lots of ways you can go. And we shouldn't be afraid. We should be careful. We should be smart, have common sense. We shouldn't be afraid. I will confess that I had some fear that I know wasn't from our king about, not about the virus, but about there was people protesting at the town where, I don't live there now, but where I have my P.O. box. And I'm seriously considering changing to a different P.O. box in a different place, but anyways, for right now, yeah, my P.O. box there, I was coming home from the town of where my P.O. box is at, and there were people protesting, and all my life I've been fine with that. Somebody's protesting, it's just a protest, it's no big deal. But because of all the stuff going on, it's the first time in my life that I actually saw a group of people gathered together, and I felt a bit of anxiety. I mean, I will confess that. And it's like, Abba, that's not right. It's not supposed to be afraid. But it's because, this is happening to a lot of people. It's because of hearing that in the news there are plenty of protests and people that have gotten together, and it started out peaceful and then it became violent. So it's a natural thing, right, to feel that way. It's natural, and yet it's not natural, because we're not supposed to be afraid, but you know what I mean. So may Abba please help us. I'm so thankful that I grew up in a family where we did not see any difference between anybody. It didn't matter if you had whatever your color of skin was, if you were rich or poor, if you were even homeless. We saw everybody equally the same. It's a biblical point of view. We saw everyone the same, and I'm very blessed that I got to grow up in that kind of environment. I mean, I myself would be considered mixed, although yes, I know some people question that because I have fair skin and green eyes, but it's like my mother was from Puerto Rico, and in Puerto Rico has a lot of different mixture of people. That's one of the cool things about Puerto Rico. It was, Puerto Rico means rich port, so it was a port, and all kinds of people throughout history came through it. So it's come to be this island of just beautiful people of all different appearances. You have everything from very dark skin to light skin. You can meet somebody who's got blonde hair and blue eyes, and they might not know any English in Puerto Rico. It's just that diverse. It's very different. Very, very different. But, basically everybody speaks English now, for the most part, in Puerto Rico. Anyways, so yeah. And then what happened, I'm just trying to do a real recap here. What happened with George Floyd was indeed awful. I do think about the fact, though, that stuff goes on all the time that's terrible, that doesn't even make it to the news. This was recorded, and it was awful. However, I am also disheartened that so many people are saying that because of this one man who was doing wrong, group of men that were doing wrong, that all policemen are evil, and that is wrong. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm comforted when something is not going right to know that there are policemen watching by. They put their lives on the line every day for us. I do believe that it's a great thing to have good training. That's one great thing that came out from all this, making sure that the proper training takes place for a policeman. But wow, having no policemen would just be terrible. That would be chaos. That would be awful. Yes. So I posted on my Facebook about the scripture from Matthew where Y-shua says that, in those days, before the days of his coming, that because of their lawlessness, that their love will grow cold. And that is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that happen, where there's this lawlessness, a desire to actually go away from the law, and the love growing cold. And of course, I just ran through a bunch of different topics right now, but what I want to share with you guys, if you have any sense of fear or worry, is just to encourage you that remember that even if persecution does come, and it has come, I am disgusted by the kind of words that are the slander I've seen towards people of faith during this time. But even when the persecution comes, what Y-shua talked about, our soul is safe with him. And it's the same with the virus. No matter what happens to this earthly body, this vessel, our soul is safe with him as we cling to him. And that is our joy to look for. It doesn't matter what's going on all around us. We have him and we have his love, and that's the love we are to share in the midst of the chaos. Because there are people who are turning to our King because of all this crazy stuff, and it's a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing in disguise. There is a lot of hard things happening. They talk about the virus and lives lost to the virus, but during this isolation stuff, we've lost so many people to suicide. Domestic abuse has been taking place, higher rates, and it's just it's very disheartening, beloved. But we do have the Lord, and He's our hope, and it's a time to meditate on those scriptures where He gives us hope. Yeah. And I want to share this too with you guys. I should let you guys go. Shabbat Shalom, beloved. Yeah, I'm going to hopefully post this a little bit later, but I want to show you this t-shirt to promote my music. If you're new to my channel and you want to help support me, and thank you to those of you who have supported me. Thank you. Please, yes, if you want to, please, you can buy some music from me. Yes, you are able to hear it on Spotify and on YouTube, but really, when you purchase my album, it helps me so much. So every little bit helps. So thank you. Yeah. Okay. So this T-shirt I'm wearing, I got this to help promote the music. I want to show it to you guys. It's got my album picture on it. I can show you. Here's my very own mask. It's got my name. I always wear my rings. I feel strange without them now. And Tikva the Hope is the name of my album. And then on the back, oh, I don't know how I can show you guys this. Because I'm trying to, on the back, if I could show it to you. I love this. It doesn't have my website on it. I think my next t-shirt will have my website on it. It's got scripture. Did you guys see it? I don't don't know if you saw it, but I hope you did. It's got from Psalm 119. Hello, people. Get up closer here. That'd probably be scary if I get too close. That's my new t-shirt, and if you guys like it, I'm thinking about ordering more. This was just one, like a test, but I'd order more. This was small, because I am quite small, but there's different sizes. Just something I'd like to get a feel for if you guys would be interested. And then that could be another way to help support me too if you'd like my t-shirt. Yes. Okay, I will let you guys go for now. I love all of you very much. I really appreciate anything you send me with beautiful letters. Thank you for your letters and emails, encouragement. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow I'm going to get to do some worship at a congregation, and I'm very excited about that. Going to be making some more art here pretty soon. It was a blessing that I sold a painting, and from that I've got to buy some more canvases, and really nice canvases. There's a special kind that I like particularly to paint with, and so I'm going to do some more paintings. So yeah, and working on the next album. Okay, bye. Shalom, shalom.